Dear friends, let me ask you something straight from the heart. Have you ever noticed your muscles slowly fading away, almost like sand slipping through your fingers no matter how hard you try to hold on to them? You stand up from a chair and it feels heavier than it used to. You climb a staircase and halfway up, your legs burn and tremble. You pick up something as simple as a grocery bag, and suddenly your arms do not feel as strong as before. This is not just age. This is something doctors call sarcopenia, and it is one of the biggest threats seniors face. Here is the shocking truth. After the age of 60, people lose as much as 1 to 2% of their muscle mass every single year if they do nothing about it. By the time you reach 70 or 80, you can lose almost half of the muscle you had when you were young. That is why falls happen, that is why bones break, and that is why independence slowly fades away. Now, right here, in the first half minute of this video, let me tell you something that could change your life. Forget bone broth. Bone broth may have been praised for generations as a healing tonic, but it is not the food that truly fights sarcopenia. There is another food, backed by science, that builds muscle, repairs strength, and helps you fight back against muscle loss. Stay with me until the end, because I will reveal it clearly, explain exactly why it works better than bone broth, and give you practical tips you can use tonight. And while you listen, please share your story in the comments. Have you felt your muscles getting weaker? Do you sometimes fear falling or struggling with daily tasks? I want you to know you are not alone. Write your thoughts below because your story can help another senior who is going through the same battle. Now, let us walk together through this journey. Imagine this scene. A man named Robert, 72 years old, used to love walking around his neighborhood. He loved carrying his grandchild on his shoulders, but lately he found himself avoiding those long walks. His legs would ache, his back felt tired, and he even stumbled once carrying groceries. His doctor told him it was sarcopenia. That word scared him. He thought, does this mean I will spend the rest of my life in weakness? He tried bone broth because he heard it was good for strength, but it did not stop the steady loss. What finally helped him rebuild his muscles was not bone broth at all. It was a protein and nutrient-rich food most people overlook. This food, when added regularly to his diet, began to change his energy, his muscle tone, and even his confidence. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what that food is and how you can use it to fight sarcopenia too. Let us talk about the science for a moment. Muscle loss in seniors happens because as we age, our body becomes less sensitive to protein. This means that the same amount of protein that once built muscle in your younger years now does very little. This is called anabolic resistance. Seniors need higher quality protein, and not just protein, but also nutrients like leucine, vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3 south to really trigger muscle repair. Bone broth sadly does not give you enough of these. Yes, bone broth may have some collagen and minerals, but collagen is not complete protein for muscle growth. It lacks essential amino acids like leucine that are critical for muscle repair. That is why seniors who rely only on bone broth see little improvement. Now, let me reveal the food that beats bone broth. That food is eggs. Yes, humble, everyday eggs. Do not underestimate them. Eggs are one of the most complete, powerful, muscle-building foods on earth. Each egg contains high-quality protein with all 9 essential amino acids, including leucine, which directly stimulates muscle repair. Eggs also provide vitamin D, which keeps bones strong and muscles coordinated. And the yolk is packed with healthy fats and choline for your nerves and brain. You may be thinking, but I was told eggs are bad for cholesterol. Here is the truth. Modern research has shown that for most people, eggs do not raise harmful cholesterol in the way people once feared. In fact, for seniors, the benefits far outweigh the risks. Doctors now agree that eating eggs regularly is safe and in many cases protective for the heart. Now, picture this. Robert started eating 2 eggs every morning. At first, he scrambled them with vegetables. Some days he boiled them and sprinkled a little pepper. Other days he made an omelette with spinach and onions. After just a few weeks, he noticed his energy improved. He could walk farther without stopping. After a couple of months, his legs felt stronger, and he no longer feared carrying groceries. He even picked up his granddaughter again and smiled with tears in his eyes because he thought those days were gone forever. Friends, this is why I say forget bone broth. Eggs give you what you need to fight sarcopenia. But let me guide you step by step on how to use them properly. Number 1. Eat at least 2 whole eggs daily. Do not throw away the yolk, because the yolk contains half the protein and most of the vitamins. Seniors often make the mistake of eating only egg whites, but that is incomplete nutrition. Number 2. Combine eggs with strength, supporting foods. For example, add spinach, mushrooms, or peppers for extra antioxidants. Pair eggs with a slice of whole grain toast for steady energy. You can even cook them in olive oil for healthy fats. Number 3. Do not just eat and sit. Muscles respond to use. Do light exercises after eating protein. For example, after breakfast, try walking for 10 minutes, doing chair stands, or lifting light weights. This helps the protein from eggs go directly into muscle repair. Let me share another story. Mary, 68 years old, had started feeling her arms weaken. She struggled to lift a heavy pot in the kitchen. She also had trouble getting up from the floor after playing with her dog. She was drinking bone broth daily, thinking it was enough, but her doctor told her she needed more complete protein. She began adding eggs into her meals, sometimes in salads, sometimes as a small frittata. Within 3 months, Mary noticed her arms were firmer, her grip was stronger, and her energy returned. She said it was like waking up her muscles again. This is not just opinion. Studies show that seniors who consume eggs regularly preserve more lean muscle mass, have stronger legs, and even lower risk of falls. In fact, research published in nutrition journals shows that leucine, found in high levels in eggs, directly stimulates muscle protein synthesis in older adults. This means your body literally starts repairing muscle tissue when you eat this food. Now I want to pause and ask you again. Have you noticed your muscles getting weaker, your balance less steady, or daily tasks becoming harder? Share your experience in the comments. Do not be shy. By opening up, you can inspire someone else who feels alone in this battle. And I promise, I read these comments and I truly care about your journey. Here is another powerful tip. If you want to supercharge the effect of eggs, pair them with resistance training. That does not mean lifting heavy weights like in a gym. It can be as simple as using resistance bands, doing chair squats, or practicing wall push-ups. Studies show that when seniors eat eggs and then do simple resistance exercises, the muscle-building effect is doubled. Think of it as fuel plus action. One without the other is less effective, but together they are life-changing. You may be wondering, what about people who cannot eat eggs due to allergies or personal choice? There are alternatives. Cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, and even soy products like tofu provide leucine and complete protein. But for those who can eat eggs, they are one of the most convenient, affordable, and effective foods you can use to fight sarcopenia. Now, let us go a little deeper into why muscle strength matters so much for seniors. Weak muscles are not just about losing strength. They affect balance, coordination, metabolism, even immunity. Seniors with more muscle mass live longer, recover faster from illness, and enjoy more independence. Sarcopenia, on the other hand, is linked to higher risks of diabetes, heart disease, and even dementia. That is why ignoring muscle loss is dangerous. But the good news is, it is never too late to rebuild. Even in your 80s or 90s, the body can still respond when given the right food and activity. Think of your muscles like a savings account. Every egg you eat, every walk you take, every exercise you do is like a deposit. Over time, those deposits build up, giving you strength to draw from when you need it most. The earlier you start, the better, but it is never too late. Let me tell you one final story to inspire you. George, 85 years old, had almost given up. He was using a walker, afraid of falling. His daughter encouraged him to try small changes, 2 eggs at breakfast, light chair exercises daily. Within 6 months, George no longer needed his walker indoors. He could stand taller, walk steadier, and even dance slowly with his wife again. His family said it was like watching him come back to life. Friends, this is the power of choosing the right food. Forget the hype around bone broth. It may warm you, it may comfort you, but it will not stop sarcopenia. Eggs will. So tonight, I want you to do something simple. Tomorrow morning, start your day with 2 eggs. Eat them however you like, scrambled, boiled, poached, or as an omelette. Combine that with a short walk or light exercise. Do this consistently and watch your strength slowly return.